Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where promises are made every day, where intentions are shared freely, and where words can sound beautiful, but too often they mean nothing without action. In this world, one truth remains undeniable. Money speaks louder than words. Why? Because money is not just currency, it's proof of value. It's the reward of hard work, the fruit of discipline, and the symbol of trust. You can say you're passionate, but money invested in your craft says more. You can talk about helping others, but money donated, time bought, resources offered, those speak volumes. When you walk into a room and you have financial independence, your presence commands attention. You're no longer asking, you're offering. You don't need to convince anyone with sweet words. Your results, your assets, your success, they do the talking for you. This isn't about greed. It's about power with purpose. It's about what you do with your money that defines your character. Are you building a legacy? Uplifting your family? Empowering your community? Money is a tool, and how you use it determines the real volume of your voice. People listen to success. People follow results. And the truth is, in this noisy world, wealth is a megaphone. So don't just talk about your dreams. Build them, fund them, live them, live. Because when your money starts speaking, the world stops to listen. Words are intentions, but money is proof. While many people talk about goals, those who invest, save, and build wealth are showing tangible outcomes. Money reflects decisions, efforts, and strategy. It shows that you've done more than just dream. Financial strength builds credibility. When you walk into a meeting backed by wealth or results, people take you more seriously. Money commands respect not because of the dollar amount, but because it shows you have a track record and deliver results. When people pay you, it means you're providing something valuable. Whether it's a product, a service, or an idea, money confirms that you've created something meaningful. This makes money not a symbol of greed, but of contribution. When you're financially independent, you speak with confidence. You don't have to say, oh, please, or if only. You make choices freely. Money lets you speak without compromise and act without hesitation. It buys your time, your peace, and your ability to stand tall. A person with a financial track record we followed faster than someone with just motivational quotes. Success attracts attention, and money is often a direct result of that success. When your money moves, people move with it. One of the loudest things money can say is I care. Whether through charity, investments in others, or creating jobs, money gives you the platform to change lives. You don't have to talk about kindness. Your actions, backed by resources, will show it. Money is not the end goal, but it empowers your mission. Whether you're an artist, entrepreneur, activist, or leader, having money allows you to scale your vision. It lets your message be louder, clearer, and further reaching than words ever could. Instead of convincing others with speeches and slogans, focus on building something real. Your financial results, your achievements, your impact, these are louder than any claim. Money doesn't need to boast. It simply shows up and shows off. In a world flooded with empty promises and superficial affirmations, action is the only true measurement of intent. While anyone can talk about ambition, success, or changing the world, very few back those words with real effort. Money, in this sense, is not just a currency, it's evidence. It reflects what you've actually done, not what you say you'll do. When you see someone who has built wealth, you're looking at someone who has made sacrifices, taken risks, and stayed consistent over time. They've shown up when others gave up. They've turned plans into projects, ideas into income, and potential into performance. Money doesn't fall into your lap from mere wishes. It arrives as a result of focus, discipline, and execution. You can say you want to write a book, launch a business, or change lives. But until those goals translate into financial movement, they remain mere aspirations. Money shows the trail of your journey, the decisions you've made, the chances you've taken, and the value you've brought into the world. It holds you accountable. You can't lie to your bank account. It doesn't care about how hard you tried or how passionately you speak. It reflects what actually worked. If you made an impact, created demand, or built something worthwhile, your finances will eventually mirror that. This is why money is a more reliable storyteller than words. It speaks the truth of your hustle, not the fantasy of your dreams. In today's fast-paced and competitive world, influence is not just about what you say, it's about the results you bring to the table. And nothing solidifies credibility like financial success. Money acts as a signal, a symbol that you have not only talked the talk, but walked the walk. When you possess financial resources, people perceive you differently. They don't just hear your words, they pay attention to your presence. Because wealth suggests that you have experience, insight, and a proven ability to execute. When someone with little to show gives advice, it's often ignored or questioned. But when someone with financial backing and a strong track record speaks, their words are taken more seriously. This is because money is not only a reward for past actions, it's a visible reflection of your decision-making, strategic thinking, and resilience. It sends a message that you've earned your place, that your opinions are backed by experience, and that your success isn't theoretical, it's tangible. It's tangible. Moreover, in professional and entrepreneurial spaces, money creates leverage. It gives you a seat at the table. It allows you to make offers instead of requests, to invest in opportunities instead of waiting for handouts. It becomes easier to attract partnerships, win respect, and build networks when people know you have the financial muscle to contribute meaningfully. Credibility is built on consistency, performance, and value, and money is one of the clearest indicators of all three. It doesn't matter how charismatic you are or how many followers you have, if your words aren't backed by results, they lose weight. But when your financial results stand strong, they give everything you say an added layer of trustworthiness and power. Often when people hear the word of money, they immediately think of luxury, excess, or materialism. But the true essence of money goes far deeper. It is not merely about accumulating wealth, but about the value you bring to others. In the economy of life, money is exchanged not for words or wishes, but for solutions, innovations, time, and transformation. It flows to those who serve a purpose, meet a need, or offer something that genuinely improves the lives of others. Think about every product you buy, every service you pay for, or every brand you trust. Your decision to spend money is a direct response to the value you perceive. That's why wealth is not a coincidence. It's the natural outcome of consistently adding value to people's lives. Whether you're an entrepreneur, artist, teacher, or leader, your income is often a reflection of how well you're solving problems, creating joy, saving time, or fulfilling a desire. Value isn't just tied to business. It's rooted in your mindset. Do you go the extra mile? Do you deliver more than expected? Do people walk away from your work feeling empowered, supported, or changed? If so, money will follow because people invest in what improves their world. That's why, in many ways, money is simply gratitude in physical form, a thank you note from society for doing something useful or meaningful. Even in relationships and personal branding, people are drawn to those who radiate worth. You might speak about your talents and passions, but it's when those talents start solving real problems that they become financially rewarding. This is the key difference between potential and value. Potential is what you could do, value is what you are doing, and money recognizes the difference. Ultimately, it's not just about making money for yourself, but about creating something so valuable that others are willing to exchange their money, time, and trust for what you offer. That is when money stops being just a goal and becomes a mirror of your impact. There's a profound difference between speaking because you can and speaking because you must. For many people, their voice is filtered by fear. Fear of consequences, fear of judgment, fear of financial instability. But when you achieve financial freedom, your voice becomes your own. You're no longer confined by the need to please others, follow orders you disagree with, or silence your truth just to survive. Financial freedom gives you the ability to speak with authenticity, courage, and conviction. When your basic needs are met and your future is secure, you're able to make decisions based on purpose rather than pressure. You're not bound to a toxic job because of bills. You're not stuck in unhealthy relationships for financial support. You're not forced to stay quiet when your principles are screaming. Financial independence removes the chains that keep so many people silent, giving you the space to choose your path, express your values, and live in alignment with your beliefs. It's more than just comfort. It's power. It's power. You can say no to opportunities that don't serve your vision. You can invest in your passions without worrying about instant returns. You can create without compromise, give without expecting repayment, and stand firm without fearing rejection. Your opinions are no longer up for sale. Your morals are no longer negotiable. This freedom doesn't come from having millions in the bank. It comes from control. Control over your time, your energy, and your decisions. Even a modest but secure income can bring enormous peace if it allows you to break free from dependence and control. Financial freedom is what lets your voice rise above whispers and apologies into something bolder and more unshakable. It's the difference between speaking out of necessity and speaking from true belief. In a world overflowing with talkers, it's the doers who truly stand out. Everyone has ideas, ambitions, and lofty dreams, but people don't follow words, they follow results. Promises are easy to make, but difficult to fulfill. That's why success, particularly the kind reflected through financial growth or achievement, carries a magnetic pull. When someone has built something real, whether it's a business, a brand, or a personal legacy, others naturally want to listen, learn, and follow. Success is a form of silent authority. It speaks volumes without needing constant explanation. When you've built credibility through visible results, especially financial ones, you don't have to keep proving yourself with motivational speeches. Your track record becomes your resume, your bank account becomes your testimony, and your lifestyle becomes the message. People begin to trust your vision because they can see what you've done with it. It's not about showing off wealth, it's about demonstrating proof. When you've turned your plans into profitable outcomes, your leadership becomes believable. You don't have to convince people that your way works. They see that it already has. Whether it's employees, clients, followers, or partners, people are drawn to those who have transformed effort into evidence. Success builds confidence not just in yourself, but in everyone around you. Moreover, when you succeed financially, it often means you've navigated challenges, overcome resistance, and kept going when it was easier to quit. That journey earns respect. It validates your decisions and makes people curious about your process. Your actions become lessons, your progress becomes motivation, and your presence becomes influence. You don't need to ask for attention. Success demands it for you. Ultimately, people are more inspired by what you've built than what you say you will build. They want to follow someone who has carved a path, not just imagined one. Financial success, when earned through purpose and persistence, becomes a lighthouse. It guides, attracts, and influences far more effectively than the most passionate words ever could. One of the most powerful things about money is not what it buys for you, but what it allows you to do for others. Financial strength isn't just about living comfortably or achieving personal goals. It's about being in a position to make a difference. When you have money, you gain the ability to serve, support, and uplift those around you in ways that go far beyond kind words or empty promises. You can tell someone you care about their struggles, or you can pay for their education. You can say you believe in someone's dreams, or you can help fund their startup. You can talk about making a positive impact in the community, or you can create jobs, sponsor programs, build shelters, or donate to causes that matter. In this way, money becomes a multiplier of kindness, a vessel for impact, and a bridge between good intentions and real-world change. So many people have the heart to help but lack the means. That's why gaining financial strength isn't selfish, it's strategic. It places you in a position where your generosity has weight. You're not just offering encouragement, you're offering resources. You're not just sharing hope, you're delivering help. Financial abundance transforms your ability to act on your compassion and scale your influence. And the beauty of this is that every financial decision you make, from investing wisely to building a business, can ripple outward and benefit more than just you. Whether it's your family, your team, your neighborhood, or a complete stranger across the world, Money gives you the power to make someone's life better in a tangible, lasting way. You become a source of strength for others, a light in someone else's darkness. Um, You're no longer limited to saying, I wish I could help, because now you can. That's the kind of volume money carries. It turns empathy into action and dreams into real, measurable support. Purpose is the driving force behind everything meaningful in life. It gives direction to your energy, clarity to your choices, and a sense of mission to your everyday actions. But purpose alone, without the resources to support it, can often remain limited, restrained, or even stifled. This is where wealth becomes a powerful amplifier. It doesn't replace purpose, but it elevates it. When you align financial strength with a clear mission, your impact can grow exponentially. Think about someone who wants to educate underprivileged children. With just passion, they can inspire, maybe tutor a few students, or raise awareness. But with wealth, they can build schools, fund scholarships, train teachers, and create long-term educational programs. Suddenly, their purpose isn't just an idea, it becomes a movement. That's the amplifying effect money has when it's directed by purpose. Wealth provides the tools, the scale, and the speed to bring your goals to life. It allows you to dream bigger and act faster. It lets you say yes to opportunities that align with your vision and no to distractions that don't. It empowers you to stay focused on what truly matters without being derailed by financial stress or dependency on others' approval. More importantly, wealth gives you the platform to be heard. When you have the means to create, fund, or support your initiatives, your voice gains strength. You can start conversations, build audiences, and attract attention, not because you're shouting louder, but because your actions are backed by momentum. People are drawn to those who aren't just talking about change, but are equipped to deliver it. Even in creative fields, financial independence enables freedom of expression. An artist with resources can create without worrying about market trends. A writer can publish their truth without bowing to pressure. A leader can make bold decisions without fear of losing their livelihood. That's the true power of wealth when paired with purpose. It removes the limitations and lets your mission soar. In a society where talking has become the norm, where everyone has a platform, a post, a slogan, or a hashtag, there's a growing scarcity of doers. It's easy to talk about ambition, to paint verbal pictures of the future, and to declare goals in public. But what truly separates leaders from dreamers is not how well they speak, but how consistently they build. While talk can inspire for a moment, action builds momentum. And in the long run, it's not the ones who talk the loudest who are remembered. It's the ones who created something real. Money doesn't respond to theories, it responds to action. You can have a brilliant idea, a detailed plan, and a captivating pitch, but until you start executing, until you build, you're just another voice in a crowded room. When you begin turning your ideas into products, your thoughts into services, and your vision into structure, the world starts to take notice. People trust builders because builders leave a legacy. They don't just talk about change, they architect it. Every building, every business, every invention, every movement started with someone who stopped talking and started constructing. They didn't wait for approval or applause. They rolled up their sleeves and laid the bricks of their dream one by one. And as the foundation grew, so did their credibility. That's why results speak for themselves, because they are undeniable. A successful launch, a finished product, a measurable impact, these are things no one can debate, unlike opinions or promises. Money follows value, and value is created through building. When you show people what you've made, what you've risked, what you've sacrificed, what you've completed, you command respect without ever asking for it. You don't need to persuade people to believe in you. They see the proof in your progress. And with each step forward, each completed goal, you're no longer just a voice, you become a force. In a world that rewards visibility, remember, the loudest person in the room isn't always the most powerful. The most built person is. Builders create jobs, solve problems, write stories, start revolutions. They don't get stuck in endless discussions or wait for perfect conditions. They work in silence, they build in private, and eventually, What they create becomes louder than anything they could have said. Eh, So remember this, while words may inspire, it is money that often delivers. It is the result of commitment, discipline, value creation, and bold action. In the end, don't strive to impress with what you say, strive to impact with what you do. Let your work speak. Let your results speak. Anyam a. Let your money speak, not just for your success, but for your character, your purpose, and the legacy you leave behind. Because in this world full of noise, it's not the loudest voice that's heard, it's the one backed by undeniable proof. Let your life be that proof. Let your money speak louder than your words.